walking through a lush green forest. Tall trees reaching for the sky, birds singing, and the air feel fresh and alive. Now, imagine that the same place a few years later, silent, empty, and covered in smoke. This is the harsh reality of deforestation, the large-scale destructions of forests caused by human hands. In this video, we'll explore how and why deforestation happen, how it affects us and our planet, and what can we do to stop it before it's too late. The sound of a forest is like the sound of life itself. The whisper of leaves in the wind, the distant call of birds, the steady rhythms of rain falling on green canopies. But slowly, that sound is fading. Every minute, the earth loses an area of forest the size of 20 football fields. This is deforestation, the silent crisis that is changing our planet forever. We will explore one of the greatest environmental challenges of our time. Deforestation is not only an environmental issue, it is an ethical one. It's about how humans choose to live, communicate, and share this planet with nature and with one another. So take a deep breath, because by the end of the journey, we'll understand just how precious that breath really is. Deforestation means the permanent removal of trees to make space for other humans' activity. Sometimes it's done to grow food, sometimes to mine, to build city, or to harvest wood. But when forests are destroyed and not replanted, the balance of the earth is broken. According to the Food and Agricultural Organizations of the United Nations, around 10 million hectares of forests are lost every year. That's like erasing an entire country such as Portugal from the map every single year. Forests cover about 31% of the planet's land area. They store carbon, purify water, provide oxygen, and give shelter to over 80% of the world's land, animal, and plant. They also support the lives of 1.6 billion people who depend on forests for food, medicines, and livelihood. So when we lost forests, we lost more than trees. We lost life. Deforestation has many causes, but they all point back to human activity. The first and most common cause is agriculture. As the world's populations keep growing, the demand for food increases. Farmers clear forests to plant crops like soybean, corn, and palm oil, or to make room for cattle ranches. In South America, nearly 80% of the Amazon rainforest destruction is caused by the cattle farming. The second major cause is logging. Wood is valuable. It's used for house, paper, furniture, and even packaging. While some forests are managed sustainably, many are not. Illegal logging happens every day. Cutting trees in protected areas and selling them for quick profits. The third cause is urbanization. As cities expand, more land is needed. Land is needed for home, highway, and factories. In the process, green areas are replaced by concrete and asphalt. The fourth cause is mining. Gold, coal, and oil life beneath forest soil. To extract them, entire regions are cleared. This is not only destroyed trees but also contaminate rivers with toxic chemicals. And the fifth is forest fire. Some fires happen naturally, but many are started by humans to clear land quickly. In countries like Indonesia and Brazil, vast forest fires have released hundreds of millions of tons of carbon dioxide into the air. Each of these causes may seem separate, but together they form a chain reaction, one that weakens the lung of our planet. When trees fall, the earth cries in silence. The impacts of deforestation reach far beyond the forest floor. The most obvious effect is climate change. Trees act as a natural carbon sinks. They absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen. When they are cut or burned, the stored carbon is released back into the atmosphere. The more trees we lose, the more heat the earth traps. Another impact is the loss of biodiversity. Forests are home to millions of species, from the smallest insects to large mammals. When their habitats are destroyed, they have nowhere to go. Orangutan, jaguar, tigers, and countless bird species are now endangered because their homes have vanished. Deforestation also leads to soil erosions. Tree roots anchor the soil. Without them, the lands become weak. Rain washes away the topsoil, the most fertile layer. The result is barren land that can no longer support crops. Then come water disruptions. Forests regulate rainfall through transpirations, that is, releasing moisture into the atmosphere. Without trees, rainfall becomes unpredictable. Some areas faces drought, others faces flood. And there is silent consequence too. The rise of zoonotic diseases. When forests shrink, wild animals move closer to human. Diseases carried by animals can then spread to people, as seen in several outbreaks over the years. Deforestation isn't just damaging the environment, it's endangering the health and the future of humanity itself. Now, let's look at deforestation through another lens: ethics and humanity. Forests are home to around 300 million people, including indigenous tribes. For these communities, the forest is not a resource, it's a relative. It provides foods, water, medicines, and spiritual identity. When forests are destroyed, these people lose everything: their land, their traditions, their way of life. This raises a moral question. Should progress for some mean suffering for others? Environmental ethics challenge us to see nature not as a tool to exploit, but as a system we are part of, one we must respect and protect. Our moral responsibility extends beyond border. When a forest burns in Brazil, when a river dries in India, or when haze covers Malaysia, we are all affected. This shared vulnerability reminds us that caring for nature is not just a personal choice, it's a global duty. In a multicultural world, communication plays a wonderful role in how we understand deforestation. Different cultures have different relationship with nature. In some countries, clearing forests is seen as economic progress, a sign of modernity. In others, especially in indigenous and spiritual traditions, forests are sacred. It's a symbol of life and balance. Environmental message must bridge this different. Effective communications about deforestation must be ethical, respectful, and culturally sensitive. We can't simply blame or shame, we must educate, inspire, and include. When campaigns use local language, cultural values, and shared story, people listen. When they highlight common goals such as clean air, stable climate, safe home, people act together. Communication, when done ethically, become a bridge between cultures, uniting the world for a single cause, saving the planet. Let's travel across the globe to see where deforestation is happening most rapidly. In the Amazon rainforest, often called the lung of the earth, millions of hectares are cut down every year for cattle farming and soil production. The Amazon alone stores over 100 billion tons of carbon. Losing it could tip the global climate into irreversible change. In Central Africa, the Congo Basin faces pressure from logging and mining. It's the second largest tropical forest in the world, a sanctuary for gorillas, elephants, and countless species. In Southeast Asia, forests in Malaysia and Indonesia are cleared for palm oil plantation. Palm oil is found in many everyday products, from chocolate to shampoos, linking global consumerism to local deforestation. And in Europe and North America, urban expansions and forest fire continue to reshape the landscape. Deforestation doesn't recognize border. It's a global chain reaction. One spark, one policy, one consumer habit can affect forests thousands of kilometers away. Despite these distractions, there is still hope. Around the world, communities and organizations are fighting to bring the forest back to life. Reforestation and afforestation programs are expanding rapidly. In China, over 66 billion trees have been planted in the past 4 decades. In Africa, the Great Green Wall stretches across the continent, turning the desert land into a fertile green belt. Technology is also helping. Satellite and drone track illegal logging. Artificial intelligence predict forest fire before they spread. Sustainable agriculture is becoming more common. Farmers are learning to grow crops without cutting trees through methods like agroforestry, which mixes tree and crops to preserve soil and biodiversity. Governments are setting stricter laws to punish illegal logging. Schools and universities are educating young people about environmental ethics, showing that every small act of care can make a difference. And perhaps most importantly, ordinary people are speaking up. Students are planting trees, volunteers are cleaning rivers, consumers are choosing eco-friendly products. The world is beginning to listen to the forest again. So, what can we do? We can start small, right where we are. We can plant a tree, reduce paper and plastic waste, support sustainable brands, speak up against environmental harm, and educate others about why forests matter. Most importantly, remember that forests are not separate part of nature. We are part of them. Their survival is our survival. The story of deforestation is not over yet. It can still be written with compassion, actions, and awareness. Each of us can be a voice for the trees that cannot speak, a protector for the life that cannot defend itself. Let's make the future greener, fairer, and kinder for all living things. Because when we save the forest, we are not just saving the planet, we are saving ourselves.